In this video, we're going to talk about geometric sequences and series. So it's going to be broken up into several videos to keep them short. So let's begin with just our vocabulary that we should be familiar with. So a sub 1 represents our first term, a sub n is your nth term. These two n's match, so n by itself represents the number of terms that you're talking about. S sub n is the partial sum, so you're adding up n terms, what the sum is. And then we have this new term called R, which is the common ratio, which I'll explain in another example. All right, but our formulas, and this one right here is our explicit formula, where the nth term, a sub n, is equal to your first term, a sub 1, times R, your common ratio, raised to the n minus 1 power. And then our partial sum is different from the arithmetic, where it's your first term times 1 minus times the quantity 1 minus your common ratio R raised to the nth power all over 1 minus R. So when we talk about explicit versus recursive, I just showed you the explicit formula, which is right here. And for our recursive formula, we just have our first term. Remember, it's two parts. A sub 1 equals your first term, and then a sub n equals R times a sub n minus 1. So the term previous to a sub n. All right, and that'll make a little bit more sense in a second. So here's an example. I have 2, negative 8, 32, negative 128. If they don't tell you right off the bat it's geometric, you always check if it's arithmetic first, then check if it's geometric. So if it were arithmetic, then to go from 2 to negative 8, I would subtract 10. But if I subtract it again, I don't get to 32. So it's not arithmetic. So then you ask yourself, am I multiplying by the same number to get each term? Well, to go from 2 to negative 8, I'm multiplying by negative 4. To go from 8 to 32, I'm multiplying by negative 4. To go from 32 to negative 128, I'm multiplying by negative 4. So yes, this is what's called a geometric sequence. Okay, so R, our common ratio, is whatever we're multiplying each term by, which is negative 4. So explaining the explicit formula versus the recursive, if you think about it, why this makes sense. Okay, so let's say I have 2, and I multiply by negative 4, which is obviously negative 8, and then I multiply that by negative 4 again, and that'll give me 32, right? Well, if I would rewrite this using our symbols, or symbolic notation, I just did a sub 1 times R to the second. Okay, and that gives me a sub 3. Well, if you look at the formula, this exponent on the R is always 1 less than the n on the nth term. So if this is a sub 3, then 1 less than that is 2. Okay, for our recursive formula, this should also make sense because our first term is 2, and always to get the next term, we just multiply by negative 4. And remember, recursive formula, in order to get the next term, you have to use the previous. So if I want to go from 32 to the next term, I just multiply by negative 4 and I get negative 128. If I want to go to 32 from negative 8, I just multiply by negative 4. So it should make sense that in the recursive formula, we just multiply the term before a sub n times negative 4. Now let's find the next 3 terms of this sequence. So first we check to see if it's arithmetic. If it were arithmetic, then I would just be adding 1, because to go from 2 to 3, I would add 1. But if I add 3 to 1, I don't get 9/2. So it's definitely not arithmetic. So then my next line of defense is this geometric? Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it isn't. So by definition, the common ratio, R, is a sub n, the ratio of a sub n to a sub n minus 1, which means basically that I take 2 consecutive terms and I divide them. And I always put the last guy over the previous. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to check so I'm going to use these 2 first, what the ratio is of the second term to the first term. And if I do that, I get 3 over 2. Now I don't stop there. I could check the ratio again. Okay, it doesn't matter which 2 terms I use. So now let's say I use these 2. So I'm going to check is a sub 3, the ratio of a sub 3 and a sub 2 the same? Well, 9 halves divided by 3. Well, if I keep, change, flip, I get 3 halves. Okay, or I could just say, oh, well, 3 times 3 halves is still 9 halves. Hey, it's geometric. Okay, it doesn't matter. But you're asked to find the next 3 terms. So a sub 4 is going to be 9 halves, my third term, times 3 halves, which is 27 over 4. My fifth term is going to be my fourth term, 27 over 4, times 3 halves again. That's 8 on the bottom. 27 times 3, well, 3 times 7 is 21. Carry the 2. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2, 81. A sub 6, take 81 over 8, multiply that by 3 halves. On the bottom I have 16. And then 81 times 3, well, that's 243. So we have 27 over 4, 81 over 8, and 243 over 16. And those are my next 3 terms.